Greetings all. This is Harry Nick.
And this is a less hairy Justin.
That's all right. My brain just switched off for a second there, but that's okay.
Pause for dramatic effect.
Did it work?
Because
Did it work?
Empire is dramatic.
That's true. So we have more squad pack articles. Yes. Perhaps. We actually got an article on the day after the Rebel pack and the day after for the Scum pack, so FFG just launched all of it. Now, we know there is going to be at least one more article relating to these packs. They're talking about the most powerful pilot in this pack will get his own article. That's obviously going to be Vader. We've already spoken about Vader, hopefully that...
It's not about Sienna Ree? That's the most powerful. It's Initiative 6, Nick.
Oh, Justin, don't troll poor Imperial players.
Look at that troll.
Yeah, anyway, that article is obviously going to be about Vader. Hopefully that will include some more spoilers, but we'll see what happens there. Because we've already spoken about Vader, we've already been able to see his image on the spread, and we already made a video on it. So click that little doodad up there if you want to see that.
Or it's there. Maybe down there. I don't know.
But let's talk about these new Interceptor pilots that we saw in this pack and a couple of upgrades as well. We'll go up through initiative, starting with Nash Windrider. Initiative 2. During the engagement phase, after a friendly small ship at range 0 to 3 is destroyed, if that ship has not engaged this phase, you may spend 1 charge. Nash also has 1 charge that recurs, so 1 per turn in other words. If you do, that ship engages at the current initiative. For those of you who don't understand what that means, basically, if your opponent has an initiative 6, like Fenrir, let's say, and destroys your initiative 1 Academy pilot, well, usually that means the Academy pilot doesn't get to shoot back because it has to wait its turn in initiative order. This means, hey, I get to shoot something. It means you're not going down an attack. Getting to shoot your opponent the maximum amount of times in an X-Wing game on a very fundamental level is the way you win games. It's the one thing you should be focusing on most, especially for newer players. So this ability is quite powerful. It's reminiscent of, the best pilot in first edition, Fel's Wrath, which I think we can all agree was sorely missing from second edition. So that ability only worked on that pilot. The fact that this also works on specifically initiative 1s, like even Academy pilots, and you might be thinking, like a 2 red dice tax, who cares? But I said,
it's not even just the Academy pilots. It can work on anything else.
Oh,
it doesn't have to be.
The reason I bring it up, though, is because that's going to be the most consistent way to make this work. They're not very good at defending themselves, and they're most likely to lose their attack when they get destroyed. So it's good. It's good swarm support, and it's just good value overall. I don't think we're going to see like a junkyard build on the Empire, but it would work quite well on that if that were the case. Like a bunch of
fun, wouldn't it?
Mid-range initiative named pilots. I don't think it's what it wants. All I'm saying is if that kind of build ever existed, this would be a useful tool to have in that toolbox. But this is cool. I like a relevant pilot ability on a low initiative Interceptor. I think that's an interesting thing for FFG to be doing. In terms of what you fly on the Empire, Justin, because you are the resident Empire player, what would you... What does this work with?
I mean, realistically, it can work with anything. Like, you can... it does have to be small ships, so you can't just keep your decimator going, which, a little bit sad. But I think, like, a lot of these Interceptor pilots are sort of almost making, like, a mini swarmer thing again, which looks pretty cool.
It was a thing back in first edition, like Suntia plus Swarm was quite legit. Actually, we're going to bring that up more and more as we go through the rest of these pilots, so let's actually keep that trainer going. Let's go up to Initiative 4 on Commandant Goran. I constantly misread this as Commander Goran. It's Commandant. Initiative 4.
What is a Commandant? Just quickly. Any idea?
I don't know. Answer in the comments.
Yeah. We'd like to know.
the commandant's. I don't know. It's a funny word. It's fun to say as well. Initiative 4, after a friendly ship at range 0 to 3, which has a lower initiative than yours, as in it has 1, 2, 3, partially executes a maneuver. It may perform a red focus. This is great. This is actually obviously really powerful, and obviously again really good alongside low initiative. Either Interceptors or Academy pilots on the tile end. Yeah, the power level on this is quite good, and it's not once per turn like Nash. So I like this a lot.
Just your range 0 to 3 bubble. You're going to be getting some extra actions, so yeah, run into things at your heart's content. Basically,
indeed. Specifically, it doesn't work with aces. It's baked into the card that it can't be a higher initiative than Commandant. I mean, if it worked with Sunterfell or Vader, yeah, I think that'd be too much. Just running through scenarios in my mind, I think that's a good way to balance out this card. So great swarm support. There's not really much to say here. I like the scenario where you have a bunch of, say, Academy pilots, but obviously it works with any swarm of low initiative things, where one of them gets blocked, and of course, because you're moving them in a cluster, they all get blocked, and in that scenario, all the ones in the back can take a focus token and hammer the ship that blocked them. That seems really good.
Yeah, that feels really good.
In fact, the image they used in the article also shows how you could fly into a danger zone. Not to reference Archer, but it means you can fly in where you think your opponent might block you if they're a lower initiative, and it means you'll get your token regardless. Now, in that scenario they offered, it means, because those ships would be in base contact, they wouldn't be shooting each other. But if there's any other ships looking on, being able to shoot you, you've got a focus token to defend or attack with. It's good. It's great insurance, and it's a great swarm piece. I know I'm going to bring up swarms a lot in this video, and I will say, yes, I fully appreciate that they've not been meta-worthy so much on the Empire in 2nd edition, but that's because we don't have pieces like this. It's so easy to poo-poo these kind of things and go, well, swarms aren't viable, so therefore these cards aren't viable. Well, hang on, these cards might make it viable. That's the whole point of adding more pieces to the archetype. And it's an archetype that should exist on the Empire. It's, Academy pilot swarms are a thing. It should be a key part of the faction's identity. Let us move along to Volt Scarus. Not a swarm piece this time, just a good pilot in his own right. Initiative 5, gain a strain token to recover a charge as an action. One charge that goes away every turn, the Dan Arrow carrot. Before you engage, you may spend 1 charge to perform an action. Now, this sounds very familiar. We actually saw this on the TIE Defender as well. I'm kind of curious about this. So you spend a charge to perform an action, and you can auto thrusters it as well. There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
Which is what I was just about to say. You can still do auto thrusters. This seems a lot better on the TIE Interceptor than it does on the Defender.
Indeed, you can double reposition as you're engaging. Now, somebody pointed out in the last video when I spoke about this, and sorry, I don't have that comment in front of me. You're exactly right. Yes. It's about being able to take an action with perfect information, but it also means that your opponent's Initiative 6 ships do get to shoot Volt before he takes an action. You're absolutely right. You're not arc dodging in the same sense, so that's a good point. I made a mistake last time. But it still means that he can reposition himself in order to get a better attack, and that's still worth a lot. It still means he can arc dodge lower initiative ships and get that bonus as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's still very, very powerful.
Technically, with this, you're spending the action to gain the strain token to recover the charge. Once that happens, you then do the
I see what's
boost.
going on. Yes.
Yeah.
I see what's going on. Well spotted. You can do auto thrusters after you do the action on the card.
Yeah. Now, does that mean that you can...
Yeah.
Does that mean you can do multiple repositions?
Yeah, you can. I can't see why not. Oh, no. Hang on. No. This is how that doesn't work. Because the first time you do it, you get a stress token.
Yeah.
And that prevents... That's it. We spotted it. Okay.
Good. We're smart people here.
Is there a way to get rid of that stress token, though? Or answer in the comments, like, what kind of absolute jank can we do here? What we're talking about, by the way, that was just a word salad that we said. Basically, what you do is you do the action on the card, gain a strain token to recover a charge, and then you can trigger auto thrusters off that action. Now, that gives you a stress token, which means when you come to spend the charge to perform an action, well, you're stressed, so you can't do that. You would need to have a way to, between that action and when you engage, to remove that stress token. Now, I'm sure there must be something that will do that. I can't think off the top of my head. So, answer in the comments.
There's got to be something, isn't there?
Some kind of janky Volt Scarus thing. Just ignoring all of that, though, you can take that action, and when Volt Scarus comes to engage, you can do 2 actions. Focus, evade, barrel roll, or boost into a barrel roll or boost. That's pretty good. Just remember, if you do that, you've got no tokens to defend with if you're getting shot at initiative 6. So be careful. I don't want to say it's obviously better on the Interceptor because of all the actions defenders get, but cool card. Cool card.
Yeah, I kind of do want to say it, though.
Okay, well, you are the Imperial player, so you heard it first. Hot take, this one is amazing, and Interceptor Volt Scarus is absolute trash. Let's move over to what's possibly like the most obviously powerful card that everyone is so happy about, and no Imperial players is getting salty on social media about this one.
No.
Sienna Ree.
It is best card. 6. Better than Vader.
Look through my eyes.
Better than Vader.
Oh, absolutely.
Easy done.
Easy, mate.
Yeah.
After you perform an attack, if the defender was destroyed, gain a stress token. That's bad. After a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 is destroyed, remove 1 stress token. That's very good. Okay.
That's good. Yes, however, it's also bad because you're losing a ship.
It's true. Now, this has been very, very contentious. And I want to say, I don't want to pass judgment on this one yet. I think there are too many factors to assess here. What I will say is I don't know what this is going to do, and I don't know what this is going to be costed. I also want to say none of you know that either. There are so many people currently on social media saying this is so obviously garbage, and I think that's a very unfair thing to say. It's very hard to quantify this card. It has a very low floor. Yes, you can double stress an Interceptor. That sucks. You can also double action and constantly remove stress. Possibly in a Magical Christmas Land scenario. I'm not saying that's going to be easy to do, but the ceiling on this is also insanely high. There's a huge power level swing on this thing, so I don't want to say it's obviously trash. I think people are particularly salty because, yes, it's not a highly tuned ace like Suntafel is. I get it. No platform has 2 initiative 6s that are highly tuned, ultra like ace kind of abilities. Most platforms don't have 2 initiative 6s.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. It's still a very special thing.
What does have 2 initiative 6s?
I don't think anything else does. I don't think anything else does. Defenders don't. They're getting there first.
Yeah.
Answer in the comments if we've forgotten something, but I'm pretty certain that no other platform has 2 initiative 6s. Now, if you're going to use Sienna Ree like another ace, I know obviously in an ace build you're going to want Suntafel, but as a redundant second option on initiative 6, maybe you'll take this. Maybe you want the ability on Volt Scarus more than this, for example, and that's, even though it's a 1 lower initiative, that's still better on your ace list. But let's say, for example, you want to think about taking this. In that scenario, I would want to see Sienna Ree at a significantly low cost, so that's okay. Maybe you have to manufacture the times where you shoot your opponent. So, hey, I've got, say, 3 initiative 6s on my list. Well, I'm going to shoot Sienna Ree first on purpose so she doesn't get the kill shot. You try and you make those scenarios kind of work. Unfortunately, in that style of list, the second sentence, which is the upside on Sienna Ree, is going to trigger less because your friendly ships ideally aren't going to get destroyed. If you have like a 3 ace build, then that's very bad. It's very bad that a third of your list gets destroyed. Obviously, yes, alongside a swarm, this is a lot more powerful. Potentially very powerful. It depends what you're flying against. it's very hard to quantify. Now, on that note, if you're flying against, say, a Vulture Swarm, this sucks. This is really bad because you want to take out a Vulture every single turn, and boy, you don't want to double stress an Interceptor over and over again. There's a power level swing based on what you're flying against, which but
you don't always have to take that focus token to have 3 hits or things like that. Like,
it's true. It's just like
it then feels bad that you're not killing it.
Do you want Sienna Ree not to be destroying things? Like, what's worse? Your Initiative 6 Interceptor is not destroying things, or your Initiative 6 Interceptor is constantly getting double stressed. Those are both really bad situations. So I fully appreciate that, and I think things like that, the feel bads is potentially going to stop Sienna Ree from seeing a lot of high-level play. Yes, Sunterfell, in basically all those situations, is going to be the better pick.
But that's why you pick him.
Exactly right. So I'm kind of interested about this. Maybe in a Swarm she's still good enough, even though there are those potential downsides. I don't know, and neither do any of you. It's way too hard to call something like this. It's an interesting thing because it's sort of like it's getting a very a vicious response from all the Imperial. I don't want to say fanboys, but like all the Imperial, the terminally Imperial players, I'll say, and also like the tournament spikes don't like this either because this is doesn't have consistency or versatility. That's like the thing it's the key thing that aces want, and it's the key thing that traditional TIE Interceptor pilots want. But remember, look at all the Swarm pieces we're getting in one pack. This is what FFG, they're trying to encourage different styles of play. Guess what, everyone? You've already got your ace TIE Interceptor pilot. You don't necessarily need another. It's different.
Yeah, something
different is
new,
good.
Something
different styles of play is good. Indeed. That's my rant. It's over now. We'll see what happens. I'm curious to see if Sienna Ree can see high-level play. I think it's going to be difficult, but I don't think it's not possible, like a lot of people are saying. In any case, it's an Initiative 6 TIE Interceptor. Like, don't discredit her for that reason.
I think a lot of people were just disappointed with Sienna Ree insofar as like she's not getting the crew ability. A lot of people were expecting her to be able to do the 90-degree turns and things like that.
Yeah, for
this
sure.
Is I can understand that, but new is sometimes better.
New is often better. That could have simply been too good on a pilot. It's possible. Remember, with cruise ships, you have to take a ship that can crew it and pop the crew on and invest a lot of points and have your aces separate. And that's a real cost. So putting it on a pilot ability may have just been too powerful. Who knows? Both are interesting. Now, before we move on, we have these 2 epic cards. Now, we're not going to go too far into these. We're not really discussing epic in these videos. I will say, on our last video, I was corrected because I was a bit confused. For example, Shadow Wing here does not have Empire or anything attached to it. On epic cards, they can have the requirements on the back. So, cool. Thank you for whoever pointed that out. We're not really epic players ourselves, so we didn't notice that. That's all good.
No, we do need to play a game of Epic at some stage, though.
We do. We need more local tournament support and less pandemic things going on, so we can do that kind of stuff. It'd be very, very nice. Just quickly though, Shadow Wing is a unique epic card. Your wingmates can perform barrel rolls and boost actions. If they do, they voluntarily split from the wing. So you could pop this alongside, I'm guessing, TIE fighters and that kind of stuff, so they can do boosts and all that kind of thing. While you defend, up to 2 of your wingmates in the attack arc may each suffer 1 damage to cancel 1 matching result. Pretty much the same as most other wings. Also, Sky Strike Academy class. Maybe this will be a Volt Scarus unique card. Ooh, that could be interesting. After you barrel roll a boost...
Well, actually, I don't think it's going to be a Volt Scarus unique card because it's got 2 pips on it.
True. I'm guessing some kind of initiative, though. That could be the thing. After you barrel roll a boost, each of your wingmates is forced to split from the wing. While you defend, up to 5 of your wingmates in the attack arc may each suffer damage to cancel the matching result. Yep, cool. I like giving TIE fighters boosts. That could be a lot of fun. Let's talk about the actual standard play card, though. Disciplined. So this is the final in this cycle of, hey, one of your buddies blow up, we'll give you a bonus. Now that we're looking at this as well, I want to say, in regards to all of these, I really like the design. As I said, I like how it's a bit more incidental than something like Dead Man's Switch, where you have to invest things in order to get this bonus, which is very hard to trigger. I like that it works on like multiple friendly ships. You get a little bit more versatility. It's a bit more open. And also, something I haven't mentioned yet, I love how this is a friendly, it's almost like a training wheels card. I can still see this being good for like competitive play as well, but the fact that like newer players can take something like this and get a bonus when they're losing the game, just so it helps them. It's a good learning kind of card. I like that a lot too.
I think this on the Interceptors is going to be great.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Basically, it has the same clause. It goes on any Imperial ship after another friendly ship at range 0 to 3 is destroyed. If that ship is limited or has disciplined, in other words, that's a named pilot, or it's a generic with a talent slot that took this card as well, you may perform a target lock or barrel roll. Now, there's some fun things we can do with target locks and barrel rolls. So basically, TIE fighters, TIE Interceptors can take target locks using this. And yes, before you get too crazy in the comment section, look, yes, you have to have a friendly ship destroyed. So there's checks and balances. It has to be a powerful effect to overcome the downside of it. Just like all the other cards in the cycle we've spoken about. Spiteful and hopeful are both the same from that regard.
Yeah, I'm just
You're thinking about possibilities, aren't you?
Yeah. If we can work out some way to be removing stress from Empire ships,
Things.
Focus, boost, and then target lock barrel roll. Just do all the things.
Just do all the things. You could also trigger auto thrusters off this as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
The more consistent thing is, yes, going to be getting target locks on ships that don't traditionally have that action. You can also put this on a decimator and give it barrel rolls. That's kind of fun.
That's...
Oh, on a Palp Shuttle. You can give Palp Shuttle barrel rolls. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's going to be like something you can consistently do. But it's something you can do. And that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, like, it does dumb things. That's the whole idea. But look, if you're disciplined enough, you can barrel roll a Lambda class shuttle. Does that flavor work?
Yeah.
Just imagining that.
They're just like, do the thing.
Oh, so disciplined. So disciplined. Look at him. Yeah. He's so majestic.
Yeah. That guy knows some maneuvers.
I don't think that ship's meant to be able to do that. That just seems kind of dumb. And let's even just discuss the fact that even if we're not unlocking abilities that they previously couldn't do, just instantly taking target locks in response to like Academy Pilot getting destroyed is still great. Also in regards to a lot of what is going on here, like on Sienna Ree alongside a Swarm, yes, I know it's not currently meta viable. We're not talking about that. We're talking about something that might be new and plausible. Pop this on Sienna Ree alongside a TIE Swarm. Could have interesting effects as well. A bit annoying because, yes, of course, if she's stressed, she can't do these kind of actions. But if you're using her ability in an effective way, you're not just spamming double reposition every single turn. It could be good.
Now, the one we haven't talked about in this article because he was already revealed was Gideon Husk. Gideon Husk could love a target lock.
Dice modification plus extra dice seems pretty decent. I kind of feel like Gideon Husk is better with nothing on him, but if it's cheap enough, I could see that being a thing. Seems really decent. Seems really decent. So let's just wrap up this video in saying this. No. You're not getting the tools to make your existing ace lists better necessarily. I don't think that's necessarily true. Like, there's a few things in this pack that could be interesting. Obviously, there's also Vader on the Defender, blah, blah, blah. But we're getting a lot of Interceptor pilots that don't support existing archetypes. That's a good thing. It's a versatility. Different kind of lists is a good thing. We're not getting another highly tuned ace on the Interceptor, and that's okay. I just want to say that a lot of people have been poo-pooing this pack in particular. I think people have been a bit narrow-minded in the way they sort of assess these things, and yeah.
Let's be fair, guys. If you're going to poo-poo this pack, poo-poo it because it's a yellow defender.
Yes, agreed. I will agree with that, and I'm going to buy one and repaint it pink.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, we've got one more video to record. We're going to talk about the Scum Pack. So that video will be out a bit, maybe a few hours after this one. In the meantime, like, subscribe, ring the bell, join all our social media and our Patreon down in the description below. And me and Justin will catch all of you very soon.
Bye.